Welcome to Eagles and Birdies. Today we are here with Series 1 of Meet the Designer, and we've got Runpuddrunn with us. So, first of all, hey, thanks for joining us, and we're going to try this new series out, really focus on getting to meet all these GSPro designers and focus on kind of what you guys do in your real life and get to know you better and not talk about biomes and all that fun technical stuff because you'd already lose me if we started going down that road. So to kick this thing off, what's your designer name and how did you come up with that?
So it's Runpuddrunn. A lot of people either don't know how to say it, but it was my PSN name, my PlayStation name when I first started it, like 20 years ago. So it started in high school. My real name is Judd Shea, and so in high school I ran cross country and track. And right when Forrest Gump was coming out, all the parents would yell "Run, Pud, Run" because that was my nickname was Pud. All my
Okay.
friends called me Pud, and so everyone would say "Run, Pud, Run," and so I just stuck, and that's been ever since. So
Yeah, man. I'm really excited to talk with everybody and get to know what their names are because there's some pretty wild names out there.
yeah,
And the funny thing is, there's a meaning behind them all, right? So
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
that's great. So let's jump into this. So tell me a little bit about Runpuddrunn. Where are you from? What are you into in your spare time when you're not grinding through courses?
Born and raised in Iowa. Moved to Kansas after I got married. Lived there for about 18 years, and moved back to Nebraska here. I'm from Council Bluffs, Iowa, and now I live in Omaha. It's right across the river. It's like Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri. There's like a river separating them, so essentially the same. And been back in Omaha for 5 years now, and we're actually moving again back to Iowa to be closer to my family, which is only like 45 minutes away, but makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Um, I obviously enjoy golf. Not very good at it lately. Just if I had more time to play golf instead of build courses, that'd be nice. But
So
I
what's your handicap? If you had to guess, if you don't keep
so
one.
it's funny you asked that. So my GSPro handicap, I think my combo is sitting at like a 0 now. I was much worse than that starting out. I think I was like an 18 for like the first 6 or 9 months, and getting better now. And it takes a while to. I mean, some people obviously pick it up like right away. Some people are like shoot 59 in the first round. I saw some guy did that this week, which is insane.
Right.
But my combo is like a 0 now. My real life handicap. So I just joined my brother's home course, and we had to get an official gen. And so I had the last time I had my gen set up was when I lived in Kansas, which was 9 years ago, and I was a 6.6 back then.
Okay.
And now, so I just restarted it, and we had to play in league last night, and it was at a 6.6, and I was like, I'm not a 6.6 right now. And so I furiously put in all my scores from the past couple of years and got it up to like a 9.9, but I'm probably around an 11 or 12 right now, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's GS Pro. Everybody says they're usually like 4 or 6 lower than in real life, and for me, I'm the opposite. I'm in a basement. I can't swing a driver, so my GS Pro handicap's actually higher than my
is it? Yeah,
my real one, and I kind of suck at putting in GS Pro too. But
yeah.
yeah, no, we're right around the same spot. I think I'm a 6.2 or something right now. So yeah, that's fun, man. So you had league. So how'd you shoot in league last night?
Well, so I played. That was my 36th hole of the day. So I played with my brother earlier in the day, and so I think I shot a 42 in league, which is
Yeah.
not that, but it's a tough course. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, hopefully you got some points on the team against you. So
yeah.
nice. So you play some real golf. You're in a move and you're building courses. What else are you into?
I work out. I lift. I like to walk. So there's a
Okay.
treadmill behind me, and I just like I don't know. It's weird. I started doing it about a year ago, and I just like to walk on the treadmill in the morning and like watch a movie or like catch up on like a binge of Netflix series on the treadmill. So I
Nice.
enjoy walking and working out, lifting weights. So
So you
yeah,
watching Beef right now on
I have
Netflix?
not watched that. It's on my list. I'm trying to get through Some other ones. I always have a show to watch though, and it's that's added. So
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either, but one of my golf buddies is like, you got to check out Beef. I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
nice. So let's get into how did you get into GS Pro design? I mean, how many courses do you have now? I mean, I can't even keep track.
I think I'm up to look at my courses. So I think I officially on GS Pro. I think I have like 67 or something like that, and then I have another like 20 plus on my Patreon. So I've built and published through various sources or whatever. I think 83 now. 83 courses is what I'm up to. Um,
So
yeah.
Did you build for any other games or just got into GS
No,
Pro?
I wanted to build my home course, the Bentry, the one I just joined, and that was my very first course that I built in GS Pro. They always say to build one that you're like very familiar with and one that you know that you'll finish.
Right.
Otherwise you just don't have like the drive to do it. So that was the first course I built. I just wanted to play my own course, and I was hooked instantly. I thought it was a lot of fun. Well, after I finished it, I thought it was a lot of fun. I struggled big time, and people will attest to this. Like I was on the forum on Discord, just like cussing and like saying this is terrible. I'm never gonna finish. I quit like 3 times before I finally finished it. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, here I am.
So 60, published on GS Pro, give or take, right? So like, how long does a course take, man? I'm like, you must be grinding. How long you been doing this for? GS Pro's been out a couple years, right? So
Yeah, I think so. I started my first course back in November of 21, and yeah, I think I don't know how long that is, but November 21 to now. So
okay, so almost, yeah. What's that? Year and a half? I don't know.
yeah, year and a half. So
Damn.
yeah, the first. I mean, some people pick this up really quickly. After my first couple of courses, I was flying. I was much more efficient. I'm pretty efficient now. You have to be to build that many courses, but uh, it depends. Like, are you aware of like how I like build my course? I basically have different tiers of courses. I have like what I call birdie, eagle, and albatross levels, which is pack silver, gold, and platinum or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Techman has something similar. Techman probably has something similar, but it just depends on the tier and how long it takes. But a typical birdie course without houses or any extra stuff will probably take like 15 to 20 hours
Okay,
usually.
okay.
So time
Nice.
goes up from there.
Yeah, well, I assume after you do 80 courses, you start, getting damn good. I know when I do my flyovers, like the first flyover I did for GS Pro, it took like an hour. Now I crank them out in like
Yeah,
10 minutes, right? Like it takes
yeah,
more time to record the actual flyover than it does to edit it up and
yeah.
cut it up. So, absolutely. So you mentioned Patreon. So I know some of us know about that. You've got some courses you said 20ish or whatever on Patreon that aren't on GS Pro. Um, a lot of guys ask like, "What's Patreon?" And you could probably describe it better than I could. So, what is Patreon, and how did you end up, getting an account on
Um,
there?
yeah. So in simplest terms, I guess it is just a forum or a way to support content creators. Lots of different content creators have Patreons. Like I watch. Are you familiar with Chase and Scratch podcast?
Yep, yep.
So they have a Patreon, the Velcro.
Okay,
That's how I actually like. So I used to play like mobile games, and I used to subscribe to Patreons to like get access to certain things or whatever. But that's how I kind of gain familiarity with it. But the reason I started a Patreon was I started building like kids courses for my kids, and they're like low polygon, just like fun stylized courses. I know you're familiar with them, but not everyone is. So um, they didn't want those courses in GS Pro for whatever reason. They wanted the more serious courses on there, which I can completely understand. So I wanted a way to kind of like publish those courses and have them available to other people because other people showed interest in them. So I started a Patreon and created my own server, and that's how it started.
yeah, man. Those those low poly ones are they're fun. Like kids
Oh
love
yeah,
to play them. I've showed a couple on the different forums, and it's a great way to get kids engaged. They don't care what you know top
The
of the
tree
rock looks
branches
like,
look
right?
like, yeah.
Top of the rock is an awesome course for you and I to look at, but a 7-year-old really could care less. They don't appreciate it, right? They want to see
Yeah.
snow on the ground and what
Bright
is
colors.
it? Yeah, bright colors. What's the one that's like 9 holes and then it has like a 9-hole putt on it?
Yeah, Treasure Cove.
Treasure Cove. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pirates and everyone. Yeah.
yeah, that's a fun one. We play that around our house. So yeah, man, that's awesome. So Patreon is a way to support you, and like you said, there's a couple guys out there that have them. But it also gives access to stuff that's not published, like this little polygon, right? So
Yeah, and I know like other people have different viewpoints on this, and we try to provide value to our Patreon subscribers, obviously. But I think more often than not, it is just a kind of a way to support us building courses for GS Pro. I think just the extra courses that we provide is just kind of a bonus. That's just my opinion on it. We do try to provide value, but I think it's just really helpful to help us keep providing courses to the GS Pro community. So
yeah, no, 100% agree. I mean, you guys are grinding away. You obviously love it, but everybody is enjoying your courses and love them. And so here's a plug for Runpuddrunn's Patreon. Support the guy so he keeps putting some good stuff out. But if you got kids, he's got some awesome stuff out there for them.
And I built them for my kids, and they kind of gave me the ideas for 3 of them. So they have some more ideas, and I actually have, as soon as I get through some more client courses, I definitely have some more ideas that I'm gonna put up there. So
nice. So you just mentioned something, client courses, so people can reach out to you and ask for a course, and then obviously based on your tiered package, they can choose, and then you kind of analyze it and figure out what's it going to cost. Is that how that works?
Yep.
Or
Yeah. So I basically I don't know how the other guys do it, but I look at a course and I kind of look at how the course is laid out, the difficulty of me designing the course, whether there's if there's 2 bunkers, that's going to be an easier course, or if there's 600 bunkers, like TechBud's doing whistling right now, and there's 2,000 bunkers, right. I would charge a premium for that.
Yeah.
Also, of course, if there's a lot of houses, those take a lot of time to add. So it just depends on the difficulty of me building the course, and that's kind of how I price my tiers.
Nice.
So, every course is individual. So yeah.
So when you are deciding hey, I'm going to do a course, I want to release it in Top of the Rock, right? I think that's what it's called, right? Top of the Rock.
Yep.
So how do you decide what you want to build? So you've done some pretty big builds. One isn't out there anymore.
Yeah.
But hopefully it'll be back soon. So how do you decide I want to spend my time for the GS Pro community and publish this for everybody? How do you pick what you want to do?
I think probably my first one that people are most familiar with is Paynes Valley. That's kind of what I guess put me on the map, because TechBud was the first big guy, and then I came along, and then Pac-Man came along. But I just love the Branson area. So I was from Kansas City. I lived in Kansas City for 17 years. So we went down to Branson all the time in golf, and a lot of people aren't familiar with that area, but there is a ton of good golf in the Branson area. And Paynes Valley was one of the newer courses out there, and everyone was familiar with the Tiger Woods course. LiDAR wasn't available for it. And then I hopped on the LiDAR as soon as it was available that same day and started building it. But I love that area, and I have all the other courses nearly done in that area. So there's, let me check my list. Ozark National and Buffalo Ridge, and Top of the Rock is right next to Paynes Valley as well. So
right,
all 4 of those are on my radar.
Nice. So you're picking stuff local, but also stuff you want to play in your area.
Yeah, and
nice.
It's stuff that'll be fun to build. Like Top of the Rock, even though it was a lot of work, all those rocks took a lot of time. It's a lot of fun to make those individual courses and just put all my effort into those courses. Where for like a client course, I can't necessarily do that because I'm on a timeline, and not to be like frank, but like time is money, and like I can't be spending 120 hours on every single client course.
Yeah, no, for
So,
sure.
but yeah.
Nice. So, anything else we should know about you, man? Like, you,
I don't know. Do you have any questions? I'm an open book. I don't
yeah.
know.
No, I mean, you said you work out. Are you in, or were you in the whole CrossFit thing for a while? I had
Actually, I was, yeah. So I was huge into CrossFit when I lived in Kansas City.
okay.
I went like 5 days a week and did like the after, like the night workouts and stuff like that.
The Murph and all that stuff. My buddy owned
Oh
a
yeah,
gym,
oh
so
yeah,
like I used to see
yeah.
him posting all that, like the Murph, and I'm like, yeah, no thanks, man. Like I'll die if I try that stuff. But
It was fun. Well, because I was an endurance athlete growing up, and so like I got into lifting, and then I kind of just mixed the two, and it was kind of perfect. But now I just do, like I'll do my bro lifts, and then I do like the assault bike. I still have like the CrossFit stuff, so I still do some of that stuff like Metcons, but um, yeah,
nice,
I don't want to get injured, so I try to be smart. So
nice, nice. So if we were to, pull up your recent playlist on Spotify or something,
okay.
what would we find?
Uh, my music tastes are very eclectic. Like I, I don't know. Some people like they're just weirded out by my music taste. Like I'll listen to like Eminem and then listen to like bubblegum oldies in the very next song. Like I love oldies. Like
Okay,
when I in high school, all my friends were listening to like Pearl Jam, and I love Pearl Jam, but like I would listen to like bubblegum oldies, like 40s, 50s, and 60s, and I just
interesting.
love it. But I also like rap. Like it's in like, but probably my favorite artist right now is NF. He's
Okay,
a he's a rapper, but I don't know. He's a clean rapper, so I can listen to it with my kids.
yeah,
He's just insanely talented. So NF is probably top of my list right now, and then oldies, and then I listen to the Chase and Scratch podcast mostly. So
so we're gonna have to find some oldies for your next flyover. I'll have to go
yeah,
digging
yeah.
through the archives of copyright
If you can
free
find
music.
some bubblegum oldies, it's right in my
Nice.
alley. So
Nice. So, we're gonna wrap up here, but what's next, man? Like, what do you got? Any sneak peeks for us? You're working on anything you want to share, or
let me look at my list here. I have a giant whiteboard over here of all my courses I'm doing on. So I'd say Buffalo Ridge is next, and then I'm building both Prairie Club courses, which is in Nebraska. It's kind of like in the sand hills of Nebraska. They're really awesome.
okay?
Um, but those are probably my next two favorite courses. And I have a really sweet fantasy course that I'm building. It's hard to explain, but I basically took, because a fantasy course, you have to either take existing terrain like LiDAR or just create your own. And what I did is I just overlaid, I found a picture of the Galapagos Islands and overlaid it in Unity, and then
Okay.
just formed a golf course out of the Galapagos Islands. And so now I
Nice.
have it's 36 holes, and it is 18 holes of a par three course on basically just island to island. It's going to be
Okay.
really cool. And then 18 holes of kind of links style seaside on this one big island. So
Nice.
it'll be cool. It'll be cool.
Yeah, you mentioned carving out from scratch. You did what a couple months ago? Did a brand new course, Peloton
Pelton
Falls, I think.
Falls.
Yeah.
Pelton Falls. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Nice.
it's a lot of work, but yeah, it turned out well.
Which I think that's the one that you and I were chatting about, like hole 2 or 3 or something. Like the green is like perfectly flat. I used to use it for putting
Yep.
practice all the time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So nice, man. Well, hey, appreciate kind of a peek behind the curtain of Runpuddrunn.
For sure.
This is fun. Hopefully we'll get some more of these done and really give you guys some credit and show everybody what you guys are about. Everybody knows your names, but nobody knows
Yeah.
anything about you
Well,
guys, right? So
yeah, and I know a few of the designers like personally, but like beyond like 5 or 6 of them, I don't know anything about them. So this will be cool to like get to know the guys better, I guess. So
yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's like I feel like we're all like best friends, right? But we don't know each other. Like we've never
Yeah.
seen each other's face, and we all
Yeah.
hide behind Discord, right? So it should be pretty cool. And I've got quite a few different guys lined up, and wanted to start with you. If you don't know, Rudd and I chat all the time and testing stuff out for him, and do a lot of his Patreon flyovers, and so support the guy. But definitely appreciate the time, my man, and it was fun. So with that, I think we'll exit episode 1, and we'll go from there. But appreciate it, and hopefully we'll do some more of these, bud.
Sounds good. My pleasure, man.